I'd like you to start on this note and by you telling us the state of the implementation of the auto policy in the country.
The implementation of the policy is on track. In fact, we are quite surprised by the response of the investors. For instance, now we have about 23 investors have expressed interest to assemble vehicles in Nigeria. By expression of interest, we mean they have signed agreements with the vehicle manufacturer. They have gone further and obtained land or factory building where they will invest. And some have gone further, have already ordered equipment for the assembly operations. And some have already imported their CKDs and SKDs. In the next few weeks, in fact, two of them, by the end of September, early October, they will start operating. And then the automotive industry itself, the one that was there already, established in the 1970s. I'm talking of PAN, Vaughan, Anamco, Leland, Steyr, and NTM have a new lease of life. In fact, by next year, even nothing has changed, they would have closed down. But they have a new lease of life. Vaughan is assembling Hyundai and Nissan, and Ashok Leyland buses also. Fujo resumed assembly of, or PAN really, resumed assembly of Fujo vehicles in July. And the others have ramped up their productions. Innoson is now going into car assembly. He was doing commercial vehicles before, trucks and buses. But now he's going into car. We hope before the end of the year, he will roll out his first car. So the response so far has been quite encouraging. In fact, it's still our expectations. And now we're working with stakeholders to now look at developing automotive local content.
Recently, there's been some kind of controversy surrounding the amount of tariffs to be paid by importers. Could you please clear the air on this issue?
The automotive industry, I'll start with giving a general overview. It's a very low margin, high capital intensive industry. You need millions or billions of naira or dollars to set up this industry, and the working capital requirements, because the vehicles are very low cost, high cost items. So the raw materials that go into them also high cost. But the profit margin is very low, in the region of about 5%. That is why assembly operations are not really profitable centers. Most assembly plants make money from sale of spare parts and financing scheme for purchase of their vehicles. So that is why most countries that have set up automotive industry after the first 4 pioneers, these are Germany, France, England, UK, and USA. After that, country that developed this industry had an automotive policy to attract these companies to come in and set up. Because, like I said, it's highly capital intensive with very low profit margins. But where countries want it is that the local content development creates a lot of jobs, a lot of high quality, high paying jobs, develop the manufacturing sector, because the equipment, the technology, the raw materials you use to do the local content, you use it for other industry. For instance, the commercial vehicle sector is one also responsible for producing agricultural tractors, harvesters and planters and so on. Then you look at military, like tanks, military transport, motorized artillery are all from the commercial vehicle sector. So they are just some of the linkages where governments want to develop this sector. So this policy usually, in the first few years, you have to protect the industry. Because in a car production plant or assembly plant, you can only be viable when you are doing about 7,000 to 10,000 units per year. If you are doing a car assembly with 2,000, 5,000 units, you are not likely to be viable. For commercial vehicles, trucks, buses, around 1,000 to 2,000 will be viable. But for that you cannot be viable below 7,000. The absolute minimum is about 7,000 units per year. But we know that some of these plants coming up, it will take them time to reach that 7,000 units per year, which means they'll be running at a loss. So that is why this policy has some encouragement for them to come in, and without that initial period. And that is why the tariffs on their inputs are low. For CKD is 0, complete lockdown. For SKD1 is 5%. For SKD semi-lockdown 2 is 10%. At the same time, we have to put high import duty so that people will patronize their products, so that they can create the volumes to break even, and then local content. Because local content, again, needs volume. If they don't have volume, nobody will be interested in supplying them. So that's why there's higher duty on imported vehicles. So people who just want to import and sell pay higher duty. So the assembly plants will have that incentive also. For every one vehicle they assemble, they all can import 2 others at lower duty. This have 3 reasons for this. 1 is an incentive for them. 2 is to moderate the price rise. If the assembly plants are producing and also importing at lower duty, when you add the average import duty, it will be low, so the price rise will not be so much. The other one is to also enable them to develop volume so that they can have local content. What I mean is that most manufacturers or manufacturers of vehicles have 7 to 10 models that they sell. Now, we don't want them to assemble all the 10 models, because they'll be doing maybe 2,000 of one, 500 of another, and so on. So they don't have economies of scale, and there will be no local content. But in this way, we encourage them to do 3 or 4 of their best-selling models. Then they can import the rest. So these 3, the best-selling, they will have economies of scale for them. Then they can import the rest at lower duty. Then we can now have local content. So that is that. So when the policy came in last year in October, these tariffs were to start in January 10. But because of the outcry, some people said that some people had full knowledge and imported while they didn't import. So this levy was delayed until July 1st this year. But when we look at, again in June, early June, we'll survey the situation. We look at that the car assembly has not ramped up by that June to supply the full market. And considering that most of the market is supplied by used vehicles. So the levy on used vehicles was deferred until 31st of December. So that by then we will look at if the assembly plants are doing enough vehicles, then we can leave the levy. Then the levy will be